You're watching the Late Night News. Now, in a shocking incident, an 11-year-old schoolgirl set herself ablaze apparently after her teacher scolded her for poor academic performance. Minal Shah gets us the story.
Ashwini's parents are inconsolable. After she was allegedly verbally abused by her teacher, this 5th standard student took the extreme step. As she could not bear the humiliation, the 11-year-old girl set herself ablaze and later succumbed to her injuries at the Chengalpet Government Hospital. Her parents are at a loss.
அதுக்கு அவன் என்ன சொன்னான், எம்மா நான் பள்ளிக்கூடம் போக மாட்டேன், ஜமீனா டீச்சரே நீ வேறத்தே வேஸ்ட்டு, நீ உனக்கு படிப்பே ஏற மாட்டுது, நீ செத்தே போகலாம், இன்னும் ஏன் ஓய்த்திரம் கொடுக்குற அப்படின்னு ஜெமினா டீச்சர் சொல்கிறாங்கம்மா அப்படின்னு என் பொண்ணு சொன்னிச்சு. இத்தனை என்னன்னா அறிந்தலை. சரி படிக்கிற இடத்துல சொல்லுவாங்க தானே, நான் அப்படி இருந்துட்டேன். சரி இந்த பொண்ணு நான் பண்ணிச்சேன், சரி போய் பைய ஏற்றணுமாம்மான்னு நான் சொன்னேன். இதான் போக மாட்டேன்ட்டே பைய ஏற்றான்னு. நான் மறுபடியும் போனாலும் அப்படித்தாம்மா பேசுவாங்க. என் கூட இருக்கிற பசங்கள்லாம் என்னை வந்து ஒரு மாதிரியாக சொல்லி சிரிக்குதுங்க. போயிடுச்சுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அது பிச்சை பாயத்தை எடுத்துன்னு போய் நான் ரோட்டில் வச்சு நின்றுக்கிறேன். போனால் குழந்தை பின்னாடி கத்துச்சு. குழந்தைய பாம்பு தான் கஷ்டப்படுது, புள்ள இப்போ தானே போச்சு. நான் ஓடினேன். போனால் எரிஞ்சுக்கின்னு வருத்து.
அஸ்வினி வந்து பெரிய பொண்ணு கூட அது நல்ல கெட்டிக்கார பொண்ணு, நல்லா படிக்கும், சொல்கிற பேச்சு கேட்கும். இங்கே போனால் அங்கே வரோம், அங்கே வரணும் அங்கே வரணும், அப்படியே நல்ல பொண்ணு. இதுனா ஒரு சொல்லணும்னா கூட ஒரு மைங்கிங் இருக்கும். அந்த பொண்ணு எதுவுமே தட்டாது, எல்லாத்தையும் கரெக்டாக போகும், கரெக்டாக வரும், கரெக்டாக பதில் சொல்லுவோம்.
The police have recorded a dying declaration from Ashwini and have registered a complaint against her teacher Jamuna. Further investigations are on. A few harsh words of humiliation uttered has resulted in Ashwini taking such an extreme step. For her parents, it's a loss that is irreversible, for they may choose to forgive, but they will never forget. In Nerambur, with camera person Arun, Minal Shah, NDTV Hindu.
Now, it's the wing you would approach if you're a victim of a white-collar crime. But an inspector of the Central Crime Branch in Chennai had surprised visitors, his colleagues from the Directorate of Vigilance and Anti-Corruption. The sleuth swooped down on their fellow cop for accepting a bribe from a builder. Our crime reporter Salim has more.
His job was to fight crime and help people in distress, but an inspector of the Central Crime Branch tried to convert his office into a kangaroo court. Senthil Kumar reportedly demanded his pound of flesh from a builder to settle a financial dispute. Even after extracting 10 lakh rupees, the cop wasn't satisfied and allegedly sought more money. The businessman complained to the Chennai Police Commissioner, who suspended the inspector and transferred the case to the Vigilance and Anti-Corruption Department. The sleuths then raided his residence and his father-in-law's house in Pursavakam.
வழக்கு விசாரணையில் இருக்குங்க. அது முடிஞ்ச பிறகு இது வரைக்கும் ஒன்றும் முக்கியமான ஐட்டங்கள் எல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். நான் பிறகு பார்த்துக்கோம் விசார் தேடிட்டு இருக்கோம். கொஞ்சம் முக்கியமான டாக்குமெண்ட்ஸ் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம். இது சம்பந்தமா எத்தனை இடத்துல ரைட் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? இது சம்பந்தமா இப்போ 2 வீடு மட்டும் நான் ரைட் பண்ணிருக்கோம். நாங்கள் கேஸ் லிஸ்ட் பண்ணி 2 வீடை சர்ச் பண்ணோம். இது வரைக்கும் ஒன்றும் முக்கியமாக சீஸ் பண்ணல. பணம் ஒன்று எடுக்கிறாங்க.
The 20-member team seized some documents. Cash, they say, has probably been stashed away elsewhere. Sources say the tainted inspector could also face arrest if enough evidence is marshalled and a substantial case made out. In Chennai, with Salim Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
Even as an alarmed National Tiger Conservation Authority has planned a review of the tiger protection strategy, environmentalists around the country are doing their bit to save India's national animal. Wildlife conservationist Shekhar Dattatri has come up with a film to tell the public the truth about the tigers. Yes, that's also the name of his film. Nithila brings us this report.
A picture can speak 1,000 words. That is what environmentalist Shekhar Dattatri believes in. And that is why he has given 2 years of his life to make this 40-minute breathtaking documentary, The Truth About Tigers. It seeks to provide practical solutions to tackle the tiger crisis.
People in cities can do. One of the things, for instance, is they can write a letter to their chief minister. The chief minister of a state is responsible for protecting the forests and wildlife of that state. It's not the prime minister. So many chief ministers don't give much priority to wildlife and conservation. So if a lot of citizens, let's say 5,000 citizens, write to the chief minister saying this is really important, we want you to do something about this, and they give specific examples of what the government should do, this will make a big difference.
It talks about the terrors of poaching, lack of political will, and shortage of grassroots-level forest officers. But it also tells us the moving tale of the dwindling number of wildcats. The Tadri now plans to take this to as many people as possible.
It will go to schools, it will go to colleges, it will go to NGOs, and even government. If they want to use it, they are very, very free to use this film. So we want it to be as widely known and as widely seen as possible. And that's why people can register on our website and get a copy of the film.
There has been a few success stories where the general public have spearheaded a conservation. The Silent Valley, Kaziranga and Nagarhole. Hopefully, Project Tiger will join the list. In Chennai, with camera person Raja Singh and reporter Nitila, this is Soumya Balakrishnan for NDTV Hindu.
And we were earlier joined by the filmmaker himself, Shekhar Dattatri, on the growing tiger problems facing them these days.
Governance has deteriorated by and large because for most state governments, wildlife protection is not a priority. So the forest departments are very neglected, and there's a lot of political interference in transferring officers and all that. So you don't often get the most capable, committed officers to man wildlife reserves. So when the governance goes down, all your other problems increase. So if we need to fix one thing, we have to fix governance. All states have certain problems. Poaching is a problem everywhere. We have to stop denying that there's a problem, and we have to also realize that there are a number of other pressures: illegal cattle grazing in the forest, forest fires that happen every year. And the sad fact is the forest department is understaffed. They don't have the resources to do a proper protection job, and money is often wasted on all sorts of unnecessary things. We have a website called truthabouttigers.org, and if they go to that website, they will get a lot of very practical information about why tigers are declining, what tigers need in order to survive, and what we can do as citizens to make it better. There are a few reserves in the country where tigers are doing quite well, and that's because there's a good system of protection in place in those places. There are other reserves in the country where tigers are doing very badly because the system of protection has collapsed. And then there are a few reserves in between where they're managing to do some protection but not as much as is necessary. So the bottom line is protect the tiger, protect the tiger's habitat, protect the tiger's prey, and nature will do the rest.
Well, today is World Autism Awareness Day, but experts in the city feel awareness about autism in the country is still in its infancy. Statistics reveal that 2 to 6 children out of every 110 are likely to be autistic. A scary figure that hits you on the face. Our reporter Bertilla tells us more.
Amrit looks no different from any normal kid you see every day. But only when you try saying a hello to him would you realize that all is not well with this 5-year-old. Amrit was diagnosed with autism 4 years ago, and it has not been an easy journey for him or his family ever since.
We felt really shattered, and then initially we didn't know much about autism, and later on when we went to for centers and all for teaching him also special education.
Unlike popular opinion, autism or autism spectrum disorder is not related to any mental retardation. It is a brain disorder that impairs the person's ability to communicate and relate to others. Though the condition is incurable, it is treatable, and children can be trained over a period of time to learn anything from eating, writing, or even skating for that matter. In fact, therapists also say that some of them can even be sent to regular schools at a later stage of their lives.
We are focusing, Sankalp is focusing on early intervention. So if we have identified and if the child has started getting help at a very early young age, definitely over a period of time, we can think of sending the child back into a mainstream school.
In the absence of clarity over its cause, scientists say that both environment and genetics play a role. Therapists are of the view that more awareness about this disorder and medical help for diagnosis at a primary stage would be helpful in managing the incidence.
To start with, if we can run screening centers at primary healthcare levels, at least we'll have an indication of how many children really are affected, and is it really a population-based disorder, because we don't know what is happening in smaller towns and villages in India.
Many would agree that they're just different people, and they see the world in a different angle. And like all others, they too have their share of fun. With camera person Pradeep and reporter Batla, Divya for NDTV Hindu.
Well, coming up, on the other side, the oldest Sachin fan speaks about her muse. Will the Super Kings be able to turn it around with the return of Matthew Hussey?